We respectfully request the Sangha of great virtues, for the sake of this assembly and all living beings, please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach and guide us how to end birth and death, leave suffering and attain bliss, and quickly realize non-birth. Cung thính đại đức tận thịnh, bi thứ pháp hội cấp nhất thiết chúng sanh, tuyên chuyên diệu pháp luân giao đạo ngã môn, như há liễu sanh thoát từ ly khổ đạt lạc, tất chứng vô sanh. Homage to the blessed, noble, and perfectly enlightened one. Nam mô Sa Đan Tô Sư Chế Đô Ye Ở La Hờ Đi San Miao San Pu Tô Chế. Nam mô Đắc Đắc Tha Tô Ya Đa Ya A La Ha Đề Tam Miêu Tam Bồ Đà Tô. The unsurpassed, profound, subtle, and wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million aeons is difficult to encounter. Now that I'm able to see and hear, I will receive and maintain it. I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual principles. Wu shang sheng she wei miao fa bai, Jian wan jie nan zao yu, wo jin jian wen de shou qi, yuan jie ru lai zhen shi yi. Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Venerable Venerable ShenGuang, Venerable Lafon people, and all good advisors, Emitofuo. Chư Phật Bồ Tát, Kinh Thư Lục Tổ, ở Thượng Thiên Hoa Kỳ Thực Cô và quý vị thiện tri thức A Di Đà Phật. Chư Phật Bồ Tát Liêu Chủ Sư Phụ Sang Rần, Cơ Wei Chu Cha Rần, Cơ Wei Sang Chư Sư Emitofuo. Hello everyone, thank you all for coming. It's nice to see you. Today is the 30th of October 2021. We are continuing to discuss the Sixth Patriarch Sutra. We're starting over. We are on slide number 45. Thank you very much. Okay, so in the midst of the story between Bodhidharma and how he transmitted the chant to the second patriarch, the second patriarch, Venerable HuiKe, okay? Before he was ShenGuang. ShenGuang is a Dharma name, but then after he became second patriarch, Venerable Bodhidharma was very kind and gave him a Dharma name, and that's what he used. So after Venerable HuiKe became enlightened, and he went through a lot of hardship. Imagine yourself having to kneel for 9 hours. 9 years. Sorry, not hours. 9 hours, pretty easy. 9 years, all day. Okay? And back then, I don't think they invented the full lotus posture yet. No, I'm kidding. I think full lotus came from India. But in China, I think it's probably the case where the Chinese didn't believe in full lotus. That's why he made them kneel for 9 years. He said, see how tough you Chinese people are. And after that, HuiKe knew better. I said, oh, we better teach the Chinese how to do full lotus. Because I don't think anyone would be stupid enough like me to kneel for 9 years like this. Okay? It's extraordinary of a feat. You see, this monk here was extraordinary of a monk. Okay? And extraordinary people go through extraordinarily difficult tests. So don't complain. You know, I'm too sleepy and sit in full lotus. Then get up and kneel for 9 years. He's such a wimp. Okay? So anyway, so HuiKe, Venerable HuiKe, second patriarch HuiKe, had to prove himself for 9 years before Master Bodhidharma decided to teach him. So after he taught HuiKe, taught him the sudden teaching Dharma, he named him WeiTuo, meaning wise and able. Hui here refers to prajna wisdom, okay? Meaning that he certified HuiKe as the first Chinese monk to have prajna wisdom. That's why Hui comes first, not last. Okay? Ge here refers that he's able to carry on the burden of propagating Mahayana. He's able to carry on the transmission of this wonderful sudden teaching, Dharma door. All right? So that's a word of encouragement. I deem you worthy. So carry on. So HuiKe asked Great Master Bodhidharma, in India, did you transmit the Dharma to your disciples? Did you also give a rope and bowl as certification? Okay. And 46, Bodhidharma replied, I transmitted the Dharma in India. Of course. What do you think? It's just like you just gave it to us, right? I mean, you know, not the Indians, right? Your own kind. We better, right? There's a little bit of racism in here, I think. So Bodhidharma has to say, yes, of course, I transmitted the Dharma. I taught this certain teaching in India as well. But I did not use a rope and bowl. Indian people are straightforward. To attain fruition, they know they must be certified. That comes from the tradition from the great first patriarch, Indian patriarch, Mahakashyapa. Okay? If no one certifies them, they do not say, I have attained the way. I have given proof to arhatship. I am a bodhisattva. Okay? So he's saying that you Chinese people are not as straightforward as the Indian back then. That is not the case anymore, unfortunately. Unfortunately, the Chinese tend to lie. It's probably a translation error. You don't want to bring a Dharma to the Chinese and say, you are a bunch of liars. Many claim sagehood, although they fully know they aren't. That's what Indians do, by the way. It's not just the Chinese. Indians do that too nowadays. Therefore, I transmit the rope and bowl to prove that you have received transmission. In other words, there's only one rope and bowl. If I gave to the Indian, I'm not going to give it to you. So that's the answer. That's completes the cycle of certification. So he certified that HuiKe was enlightened, and then he also gave him the rope and bowl as well. Okay? And that's a happy ending story. And Venerable Bodhidharma, according to Master ShenGuang, was poisoned 6 times. Some of them were really famous Chinese monks, Indian monks, his contemporaries, and that comes with the job. Okay, you do something important. Your peers are your worst enemies. Okay, and that's the nature of the Chinese competition. They can't beat you, they poison you. I take it back. Not the Chinese, the monks in general. If they can't compete with you, they do things to destroy you, to harm you. And that's the way it is. Okay. You don't like it, don't be a patriarch, stop complaining. Venerable Bodhidharma also gave a prediction. He says, why am I doing this? I'm doing this not only to give this to you, this precious Dharma here. Okay? I do this because you are just a vehicle, just a bridge for the propagation, for the Dharma to be propagated to future generations, where there will be the case one flower opens the 5 petals. Okay, this refers to the fact in the future that there is a monk by the name of Mazu, a very famous, very competent Chinese patriarch, who then had 5 eminent disciples. Okay, and from his that learned from him, and later did great things for the Chan school and for Mahayana in general. So Venerable Bodhidharma says, you make sure that you pass on this knowledge, because in the future you need this bloodline, this transmission to go to future generations, so that it will blossom eventually. Okay, that's the way it has to be in China back then. Q&A, go ahead.
Quick question, Master. Why did Bodhidharma make Venerable HuiKe kneel for 9 years before telling him to wait until the snow turns red? Why not just tell him wait at the very beginning, wait until the snow turns red?
Yeah, I could have said, oh yeah. He could have said, in the future, in 9 years later, there's the Dharma will be transmitted somehow. So you hang in there, right? No. It turns out that I don't know, because I cannot speak for Master Bodhidharma. Okay, Bodhidharma is a great sage from India. Okay, so and you can tell he's a great sage because he went through a lot of hardship, and he his hardship proved that great men walked the difficult paths. That's what makes them great. It's never easy for these people. Okay, so he taught this Chinese guy who did not sit in full lotus. Okay, so this part of this 9 years here is to help him understand that in order to become enlightened, you must endure suffering. If you are not willing to endure suffering, you will not become enlightened. So, if you know, and you can imagine, do you think that HuiKe, when he was Great Master HuiKe, when he was kneeling behind Bodhidharma, did he say, "Ow, ouch, ouch, ouch! There's a mosquito here, Master, Master." Okay, it's raining. Can we stop? Can we take a break? I have a cold today. I think COVID-19. So you see, they went through a lot. We only see it as 9 years. Actually, they went through so much. Okay, so many things occurred that was not even worthy to be recorded. And the simple thing is just you kneel for 9 years. See if you can do that. See how many people can do that. Okay, and that's what enabled HuiKe to be ready for the transmission. Okay, so according to Bodhidharma, conditions were that's what he felt that HuiKe has to go through. For 9 years, basically, the test is that, aren't you going to give up every day? Aren't you going to give up? Huh? Chinese person, are you going to give up? And what did HuiKe have to work with? Nothing. He has no 2 hands and eyes. Remember, he's a Dharma master. He lectures on sutras. He doesn't know how to cultivate. Didn't have any great compassion mantra. Didn't have any Buddha's name to recite. Have no medicine master Buddha blessings. See how weak you are. You have all those things. HuiKe had nothing whatsoever. So what did he have? How did he survive? You think? With COVID and, SARS and, going around the country, and hunger and pain in the legs, in the back, aches, sleepiness. Q&A. What do you have to work with? Q&A.
A Di Đà Phật, con có cái ý là tại sao mà Ngài Huệ Khả ngồi 9 năm? Tại vì lúc gặp 2 con quỷ đó, nó nói cái ông đó cứu ông được đó. Vì ông đánh, ông chảy máu rớt mấy cái răng đó. Thì tôi chờ cho ông gặp ổng dạy ông không mà tôi dẫn ông xuống Diêm Vương. Thì nghĩ đến cái chết đó mà Ngài Huệ Khả là chỉ có nước chờ để nó cứu thôi chứ không còn cách nào khác hết. Cũng như tổ Ấn Quang cũng nói, cái người tu muốn tinh tấn á, nghĩ đến cái chết á, thì người tu là xuất gia tại gia vậy đều tinh tấn hết. Và thứ hai là tại sao phải 9 năm theo con nghĩ. Đánh một vị A-la-hán mà rớt răng như vậy đó, chịu 9 năm cũng quá rẻ. Chứ không là hằng hà sa số kiếp trong địa ngục. Thì Ngài phải chờ như vậy thôi. Ngài Đạt Ma cũng để cho nhân quả nó chín mùi mới dạy ông này được. Không cái tội đó làm sao mà nhận pháp được. Con xin hết.
Master, I think the fact that Master HuiKe can kneel for 9 years is because before that there was the ghost, the impermanent ghost came and then say that, okay, it's time for you to die. And then he was asking is there any way that I can get hope or can you wait for me? And then they give him a tips like the monk that you knock down 2 teeth. He's the one that already escaped birth and death. So HuiKe, he has no other way to turn. So that's why he has to kneel for 9 years to wait for Bodhidharma to teach him and rescue him from the death. And then the Patriarch Inguang, he also say that if you want to be vigorous, you just have to think that the death is coming. So that is one way to help you to be vigorous and work hard. And then for me, the price he has to pay to kneel for 9 years, because of the offenses he beat up on our heart, and then just 9 years, that is a very cheap, light punishment. Otherwise, he will be fall into the hell and stay there forever.
Very good. Good answer. That's it. Yeah, exactly. In summary, what's his alternative? If he quits, what's going to happen? He dies. So he has no choice but to hang in there. Okay? So he had to somehow find a way to survive. Okay? And he cannot afford to quit. That's why. So that's which brings to mind recently a disciple of mine. She says, I got so much out of the Chan Dharma door here. It does wonders for me. But I don't know how I can share with my colleagues. I know they need it desperately, but I don't know how I can share it with them. Okay? And I didn't say anything, but the answer is what? Oh monk, see if you can do it again.
Cô lặp lại câu hỏi. Được không? Tôi không nghe nè.
He relaxed. Oh, I hit the bullseye, so I can relax. No, I came right back at him. No time to relax. HuiKe, who has to do it for 9 years in a row, you can't relax. Caught red-handed.
Con thấy là cái cô đó muốn chia sẻ đó, thì tự nhiên mình nghĩ cái lòng đại bi đến cái ông đó là một ngày nào đó ông sẽ được như cổ để mà ông hưởng được cái an lạc, cái pháp lợi lạc của thiền sản. Thì cứ warm up cái ý đó trong đầu và nguyện như vậy, thì một ngày nào đó thì cái hành động tốt của cổ hoặc là một người nào khác sẽ dạy cái ông kia. Đồng thời lúc đó trong cuộc sống hàng ngày đó thì làm sao để thuyết phục ông kia biết làm cái phước, thì từ từ đủ thì hoặc là cô đó là người khác sẽ chia cái pháp đó cho ông đó.
Anyone else? I knew it. Anyone else? Yes, Diego. Let's hear some South American wisdom here.
Thank you, Master. I don't think she
I'm
has...
just bragging. It's as if, you came from South America, somewhere, Bogota, or,
Yeah,
and,
I'm from
calling
Bogota.
in, and, yes, sorry.
Yeah, I'm from Bogota. You got it right. Thank you, Master. I don't think she has to do anything, because that would be like interfere with them. I feel she just have to teach by example. So when they see that they are following the precepts and like their life has changed so much, they will naturally approach to her.
Anyone else? Almost so it is. Almost so it is. Anyone else? How do you say it in Chinese? 差不多如是，差不多如是. Huh? Anyone else? Yes, sir. 4.
Along the lines Diego was saying, just if they improve themselves, eventually the people will ask. So when they ask, that's when you can say something.
Anyone else? What? Conk.
Master, he also had help from Guanyin and the protectors around him and the Dharma protectors.
Did you dye your hair? Sorry, what were you saying?
Master, he also had
No,
help
about the
from
hair.
No, sir.
What kind of question is that? Huh? Right, okay, never mind. What's your answer again? Sorry. The hair distracted me. One day is flaming, the other is black. I mean, it's confusing.
He had the emergency help from Guanyin and the Dharma protectors.
Don't you wish? Okay, anyone else? Q&A.
Master, I think she needs to wait till they have the need to learn Chan.
So proud of you. It's not something Southern California people can answer. So the wisdom seems to have migrated up north. Excellent. Very good. Excellent. See, I tricked you. I said she saw the need, their needs to do it. But the key is, do they see the need or not? She forgot by herself. She saw the need. That's why she did the Chan thing. But unless people see the needs, they have real needs, like HuiKe here, they won't do it. There's no point in forcing the issue. You have to wait until they see the need. That's all. Okay? And guess what? They eventually will see the need. So all you have to do is make yourself available. Until then, you make yourself available. My door is open. My cubicle is open. Let's have a cup of tea next month. Whatever. But just make yourself available. That's all. So that when they have the need, they'll come and ask you. Point number 1. Point number 2, like the South American wisdom. Okay? You don't do anything. Chinese, we don't scheme. Conk, listen carefully. We don't scheme. We don't have to scheme. We don't have to sell anything. It's there. And when they need it, they'll ask. Okay? So, yes, because they see. People will see. And when all you have to do is continue to improve, become better, happier, healthier, what year can we do? Okay? And then they see it themselves. Then say, oh, I need to be like that. You see that? So that's a very subtle way, the South American way, to make it very subtle to create a need a little bit quicker by, look at me. All right? Very good. So one day, Bodhidharma called together the disciples and said, "It's time has come for me to return. Each of you say something to demonstrate your understanding." So this seems to start this silly thing that Chinese do. You know, after you go to a ZongChi, they have an exit interview and said, "Give me your xinte. What is that you have? What insight did you have?" And that's what happened. So I think Bodhidharma is the one who started it all to mess up all the Chinese. So now all the Chinese do that. Now you go to a Chinese chi, it's not a real chi unless when you finish, you go through exit interview. And say, what is your understanding? And they have to say something. Okay, and say, Ru Shi. Everyone says, Ru Shi. So it is. And then they remain who they are. Okay, so anyway, say something to demonstrate your understanding. This, by the way, is a trick question. It's not meant for them to imitate. Venerable Bodhidharma said this it's like a jab. Do you box? It's a left jab. See? Say something. You got that? A disciple named DaoFu said, as I see it, the function of the way is not bound by word speech, nor is it separate from words and speech. Very profound. Shall we continue? Is there more? You have attained my skin. We continue first before I comment, okay? Can we do that? Is that okay? I know you say something, Master, say something, Master. I said, no, wait a little bit, okay? The nun ZongChi said, according to my understanding, it is like Ananda's glimpse of the realm of Akshobhya Buddha. Seen once, it is never seen again. Bodhidharma said, you have attained my flesh. A disciple named DaoYu said, 4 elements are all empty. The 5 skandhas are without actual existence. I see that there is not a single Dharma to be grasped. And we should have the Chinese for this. It annoys me when I don't see Chinese in these translations because I don't trust their translations at all. Okay, these people, the Chinese translators, don't really understand Chan. That's why I don't trust any of them. Okay, in the future, if you people who are preparing, you notice, for example, people have been working very hard preparing, like Korean here, Vietnamese here, Chinese here. Okay, so when you prepare, can you make sure that I have the Chinese version here? And they say, "Oh my God, Master, you're asking about the impossible. Where am I going to fit it?" I don't care. Not my problem. I just want Chinese somewhere. Is it too much to ask? Stop complaining. It hurts too much. 9 years and not reasonable. Okay, so anyway, and Master Bodhidharma said, you obtained my bones. Okay, finally without saying, HuiKe bowed and stood in his place. Bodhidharma said, you have attained my marrow. Precisely. I forgot about this thing here. Okay, 48, going back to these 4 characters. Yeah. See, he's going like this. So the boy is having a good time. I'm glad to see some people are enjoying the lecture. So DaoFu said, as I see it, the function of the way is not bound by words and speech, nor is it separate from words and speech. O monk, what do you have to say? Very good. Next.
A Di Đà Phật, tại vì ngài đó còn dùng cái lời
I helped you already. Shut up. If it's not bound by words and speech, nor it's not separate from words and speech, why does he have to open his mouth? However, this is correct. Therefore, his understanding is superficial. My skin deep. This wisdom here is wisdom of an enlightened person, but it is only skin deep. Next, ZongChi. 2. ZongChi. Hey, by the way, someone asked me, can a woman be enlightened? There's proof right here. Since Bodhidharma, yes. Before, we don't know. Maybe only Chinese women can be enlightened. We don't know. How about American women? Can they come and become enlightened? Well, we'll find out. So ZongChi said, according to my understanding, see, I love to see the Chinese here. Would the Chinese start with, according to my understanding? Why do you even have to say that? Whatever she says, doesn't it come from her understanding, or is he stealing from the old monk? Huh? Superfluous. So clearly, these first 2 here have a lot of free time to kill. According to my understanding, this is when, us people who work in have real life jobs. You're wasting my time. You're not getting that raise. Okay. It is like Ananda's glimpse of the realm of Akshobhya Buddha. Seen once is never seen again. So apparently it has a little bit deeper wisdom. I don't know why. Okay, anyone understands why? It's deeper than skin? Why? Good Lord. You don't get it? Anyone, please, don't embarrass me. Please, say something meaningful. The Chinese are watching. They say, oh, this guy's been boasting, saying we're better than us. The Americans are better than us. Let's see how good they are. Say something smart. Anyone, please. Korea. China, I don't care. The Korean, look at them. Statues. They all look down too. It's a new style for statues, you know. You know, they're all from Korea when they go like this. Buddha statues are like this. But no, Korean is... So when they become enlightened, these people in the future, anyone else? Why is it deeper? Why is it higher level wisdom? Please, I beg you. Yeah, I'm desperate. Yeah, go ahead, say anything. I don't care. We might we might get lucky.
I think I remember what Master said the first time around.
No, I never said anything about
this. I thought you said that something about it's just total nonsense. So she knows that that there's nothing to be said because she just says nonsense.
Boy, was I wrong? Did you believe that? God, I'm glad we're redoing this because I'd be so embarrassed if I hear anyone talk like that. Oh, good Lord. Anyone else? Catholic man. He said, I'm here to learn Buddhism. You know, I don't want to watch these Buddhists make a fool of themselves, speak nonsense. Huh? What is this? Here's the difference. This guy still remembers being bound by something. Yes? This woman here, Chinese woman, does she remember anything? Nothing sticks in her mind. This my guy here is still stuck on words and speech, and no words and speech. This woman here says, I saw the state of enlightenment. I don't remember a darn thing. Nothing sticks. That's true emptiness. Nothing whatsoever. You like that? Same thing. All the Koreans are. You like it? Better, huh, Xianjie? You like it better? Very good. He likes it better. Okay? She's high level. She says, what am I supposed to understand? I don't remember. There's nothing here. Nothing worth remembering. Can you see that? Well, anyway, someday you understand. Next, that's his flesh. Okay, so skin, flesh. Next, DaoYu, education of the way. Okay, which is a reminder. We need to educate people, okay? Your children in particular. You have to educate them about the way. He said, see, he's better already. According to my understanding, he dropped it. See that? Right there is improvement, okay? He says, the four elements are all empty. Okay, the five skandhas are without actual existence. And can someone give me the Chinese, please? I don't dare touch this unless I see the Chinese. This is tricky. Reload. Q&A. While they're reloading, let's talk to that shoot the breeze. Okay, remember, before you say anything, you have to maintain the standard of wisdom that I just elevated all of you to. See, they're all, yeah, of course. So American. And the Korean world, look at the American. Of course. Yes, go ahead.
This is just quoting the DaoYu's words. 四大本空，五阴非有，而我见处，无一法可得。
Okay, very good. Let me see. 地、水、火、风本来是共的。眼耳、鼻舌、根也非实的，整个世界无法可得。Okay. Four elements are all empty. He did mention 5 skandhas. Okay, this is incorrect translation. You see, there's no word skandhas here.
The version that Chun found says 四大本空，五蕴非有，而我见处，无一法可得. I think the Chinese here is more the 白话文, more the.
Okay, very good. So
Yeah.
五蕴皆 what 什么？
五蕴非有。
五蕴非有 that's more Chan. Who did this Chinese thing here? Has to be.
Not me.
Can we know this person here? Does this person have a name? Huh?
I'm not sure who did it. Maybe Jane?
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Okay. It's not Jane?
Someone was just adding it right now.
Jane's asking for the Chinese.
So we can kill this person? Okay. 五蕴也非
五蕴非有。
五蕴非有 Okay, very good. Yeah, please don't do the 白话 anymore. Okay, give me the actual original text. I'm not interested in a 白话 at all.
Can you reload it again? They changed it.
I'm sure the non-Chinese people are so bored and just give it to me anyway. No, you can't give it to you. You have to make sure that we learn from a Chinese wisdom first. Okay, let's see what Chinese wisdom, what's the level of Chinese wisdom they have here. Okay, so, this is Qianti. Oh, good Lord. This is mainland China person.
四大本空，五蕴非有，而我见处，无一法可得。
Okay. Of course, I knew that this is a Jian character. I'm not that dumb. I just justify myself. So, okay. 那个五蕴非有 Okay, very good. Okay. So here's what it means. The 4 elements are all empty. meaning there's nothing to make up this world. Okay? This world here, as we see, is made up of the four elements. Okay? You name anything. It's solid is made of, the four elements. Our body is made of four elements. This beautiful Halloween thing is made of four elements. Okay, four elements are wood, water, what else? Fire and wind. Okay? Okay, so the four elements are empty. So the wood is empty, the water is empty, the wind is empty, everything is empty. Okay? And because they're empty, therefore everything is that's made up of these four elements are empty. So everything are all empty. So all is empty. Five skandhas without actual existence, meaning there's no one. There's no ego. So outside, there's no world. Inside, there's no me. So far, so good? 而我见处 But as I see it,无为法可得 can be obtained, not the grasp here is obtained. Okay, that's why this translation is off. As I see it, there isn't a single Dharma to be attained. So far, so good. 四大本空, the four elements are fundamentally empty, not all. Yun, is Yun really? This is simplified character again, right? Oh, these Chinese people have a way of throwing me off. Okay. 五蕴非有, the five skandhas don't exist. That's the Chan terminology. You want to simplify to make it punchy. Like when you want to punch someone, you want to go as fast, as quickly as possible. You don't say, okay? You guys don't box at all, clearly. Neither do I. Anyway, so the five skandhas don't exist. As I see it, there isn't a single Dharma to be attained. This is more interesting than the prior two. Prior two are amateurs. Okay, this one is pretty good. Why? What he's seeing, he says that I know that the outside world is empty, inside is also empty. Okay, but I know, as I see it, meaning I know. Okay, Jin is that I know that there isn't a single Dharma to be obtained. Okay, so he has this profound emptiness understanding.
So correction, it was 五阴非有, not 五蕴. 五阴, 阴阳的阴.
In that in is also skandhas. The skandha has two words, 五蕴 or 阴. Okay, they both are referred to skandhas, depending on which translation version, but they all refer to in here is skandhas, not the yin yuan yin. Okay, This is a comment from Taiwan people. Don't trust them. I can't trust the mainland China people. I can't trust Taiwanese people. What's happening in our world? Okay. So far, so good. So what does he mean? He says, outside empty, inside empty. Actually, if you ask me of the entire universe, there isn't a thing. So his vision is what? And then the great master says, you attain my bones. So it's deeper. So this is a deeper level of wisdom. Why is it deeper? Deeper because the Koreans are going like this again. Okay, I won't ask you. Don't worry. Relax. Relax. Koreans. Anyone else? Oh, Korean here. Number 6.
I think what he mentioned is something similar from the Vajra Sutra. Maybe it's a Vajra wisdom.
They all have Vajra wisdom.
Oh, okay.
Prajna wisdom.
Prajna wisdom.
Right.
Yes.
It's all Prajna wisdom. But the Prajna wisdom has different levels of depth. Okay. So why is it deeper here? 6.
Because this person here has a deeper understanding of emptiness.
Shinche, are you checking my old notes? Check my old notes, please. Kim Ding, check my old notes. See, what did I say? I don't want to contradict myself. Go ahead, Q&A. It's too embarrassing. Why would I contradict myself and say, oh, how stupid a comment that is? It's self-defeating.
A-di-đà Phật. Theo con thấy là mình muốn so sánh cái gì đó mình phải hiểu cái thơm, cái danh từ, cái hình ảnh nào đó mình mới so sánh được. Thì ở đây mình lấy cái tiêu chuẩn là Phật. Tức là cái biết, cái awareness của mình đó, ai cũng có hết. Hữu tịnh ai cũng có. Thì quý vị tự mình quan sát mình có. Rồi trước khi một cái tư tưởng nào trong đầu quý vị khởi lên đó, rồi nó mất. Rồi nó khởi lên rồi nó mất. Rồi trước khi cái thứ hai khởi lên, nó có một khoảng trống. Cái biết đó nó tồn tại giống như hư không, mình không biết nó ở đâu. Mà nó đó, is there. Đây gọi là Như Lai, tức là như thị nó vậy đó. Không lấy lời nói hình ảnh nào mà mình diễn tả nó được hết á. Ai cũng có cái đó. Trước khi tư tưởng khởi lên nó trống. Rồi tư tưởng diệt nó mất. Trước khi tư tưởng thứ hai nó trống. Thì cái trống đó ai cũng có hết. Mà mình thì mình theo cái lăng xăng mà mình phiền não. Ở trong cái kinh Đại Bi Sám có nói cái đó trang 49. Mình nó chưa Phật đồng ở chỗ đó. Bây giờ cái bà này, cái ông này còn thấy emptiness, còn thấy tôi đắc, còn thấy người đắc, không có pháp để đắc, thì nó có vật ở trong đó rồi. Như bầu trời mà có tục tổ Huệ Năng nói bầu trời mà có những tia chớp đó. Còn cái người chứng được thì họ cái không đó là họ ngày đêm hàng hà sa số kiếp cũng là vậy, cũng như thị vậy thôi. Nên cái người này đó chưa có đạt được cái không kia. Mà quý vị thử tự mình á, mình suy lại mình có ngày đêm thôi. Trước khi tư tưởng khởi lên mình có. Tư tưởng nó diệt rồi mình có. Mà mình không giữ được lâu. Rồi trong đó có ai đắc, ai chứng, có cái dị trọng, có hư không, có emptiness dị trọng. Tôi xin hết.
No, keep going, keep going. Translation. And now he'll continue.
So, Master, before we go into comparison or whatever, first of all, we need to understand the term of the words. What does that mean? So, Buddha is mean like awareness. Anybody, sentient being, all have this type of awareness. So if you pay attention, you will see that in your mind, like there will be one thought arise and then it will disappear, and then the second thought arise and then it will disappear. But like between the two thoughts, there will be an empty space, and that empty space is called Trụ Lai, Như Lai, there's come one. So everybody else all have it, and then but because we didn't aware of it, and then we keep chasing after something else, that's why it caused the affliction. And then in the Great Compassion Repentance in page 49, the verse is also that we and the Buddha all also have that, but because it was covering up, so that's why we didn't aware of it. And so for the first two, they still see like there's an emptiness, there is a person that attend, there is a person that there's nothing to attend or whatever. So it's similar to the blue sky, then it still have a flashing light in the sky. But then ultimately there's nothing for you to see, and then if you can maintain that emptiness, it will be the same day and night. That is the dust unmoving, the dust come one. And then if you pay attention to it, all of us have it.
Continue.
Cái người vị thứ ba này cũng thấy được cái đó, nhưng mà còn dùng cái vọng tưởng để nói lên, và dùng cái lời nói để nói lên, thì nó chưa thật sự nhập được cái không đó.
Okay, you can stop now.
So the third person, she also see it, but then she still used the false thinking, and then she still used the words to express it. So basically, she still not truly entered that.
Lại Phật khi chúng ta công phu xong á, chúng ta đương nguyện chúng sanh thể giải đại đạo, phát vô thượng tâm. Cái thể giải đại đạo này là cái nhập được cái không đó đó. Tự mình lọt vào cái đó mình biết, không có dùng cái gì mà diễn tả được hết á. Thì cái ông thầy khi mà thấy người học trò như vậy á, mình cũng vậy đó. Thành ra mà khi ngài Tuyên Hóa mà gặp ngài Hư Vân đó, ông cũng như vậy mà tôi cũng như vậy.
Nói
vậy
tầm
thôi.
bậy. Đừng có nói tầm bậy. Dám comment một cái người mà cao hơn mình là dốt đặc. Know your limitations. You are in no position to comment about Master ShenGuang nor Master Xu Yun. Translate that Vietnamese part where I yelled at him, I scolded him.
So, Master, like for example, in the morning ceremony, then in the three refugees, and then there is a part that we say we vow that all living beings will understand the great way profoundly and bring forth the Bodhi mind. So this is similar to that emptiness, and then like like when Master YongHua see Master Xu Yun, and then Master Xu Yun say like, you are like that and I'm like that.
Go ahead, Q&A.
It's okay.
Okay. you have to know your limitations. Meaning that the reason I mentioned, one of the reasons why I mention certain people's levels and so forth, is to tell you that when they're higher than you, do not touch them, because you don't know their state. Don't make that mistake. Okay? He said, it's a state of wisdom that I don't understand. It's a proper comment. You don't say, that's what he means. What do you know what he means? You're in no position to comment. Okay? Say so. All right. Why is it higher? I give you a very simple explanation. Okay? This is a high level wisdom because, see, go back to the first two. First one says, words and speech are meaningless. So he says, no words, no speech, as a Chinese school advocates. Okay? 言语道断. The pathways of words and speech are terminated, is terminated. So he understands that. Good. But he still uses words and speech. Okay. Number two, none says, I don't remember. Very good. Whatever I saw, I don't remember. Whatever you taught me, I don't remember. Excellent. The third guy here goes beyond that. He says, I see this emptiness here is huge. There's nothing there. Okay? It's like, it's higher. I use the word high level wisdom. It's like you go into a high-rise building. When you're low level, you can see only your neighbor's house. When you go to the tower, you can see further. You can see tennis courts. You can see the freeway. You can see all those things. You understand? So the vision is broader. That's why he says the four elements, meaning how this world is composed, made of, is all empty. That's how I see the entire. My vision is of the entire world. So my realm is bigger than the other two. That's why it's higher. He can see further than the other two. The other two can see emptiness, but they cannot see as far as this guy. That's why Venerable Bodhidharma says, you got my bones. That's pretty good. Does it help? The Chinese avoid explaining this. Okay? Because now you're touching, these people who are, who knows what level they are, and Bodhidharma, what did he teach them? What Dharma did he teach them? We don't know. So whatever I told you, take a grain of salt. It's just for fun only, to make fun of the Chinese. That's all, and the Indians. All right, and finally, HuiKe. He bowed and stood in his place. You have tamed my marrow, Bodhidharma says. Okay, HuiKe's level is highest. Okay, that's why now is one of the reasons why you understand that Venerable Bodhidharma made him kneel for 9 years, because those 9 years prepared him to have a deeper understanding than sitting in full lotus. Now you see, there's a proof right there. The level of HuiKe is very, very high. Okay? Meaning that Venerable Bodhidharma level is extremely, extremely high, much higher than HuiKe. Because the level understand HuiKe is incredible. Okay, and that's why Bodhidharma said, this is as deep as my Dharma can go. This is as deep as my Dharma can penetrate you. That's a very high compliment. Okay, this is how Chan people compliment their students. You know, say, oh, you're such a wonderful student, you're so wise, you're so smart, you're so handsome. No, you're my bone marrow. Yes, Southerner. No? Do you have a question? In Kong? See? Sinan is sleeping. He said, I don't know what they're talking about. There's too much for me. Go ahead, Kong. I bet you he dyed his hair. I don't believe in
Different lighting in JMT.
No. Yeah,
Master, when he said, you have my bones and you have my marrow, what does that mean? Like, I am you?
What do we say about lies, whatever? What is that? Yeah, lie, pants on fire. Translate that into Korean. Chinese, see if you can translate that into Chinese. Huh? Liar, pants on fire. See, they don't get it. Only Americans get it. Okay, go ahead. Sorry, fire hair.
Yes, is it working? Or?
Yeah, it's working.
Master, when he said, you have my bones and you have my marrow, what does that mean? Like, I am you? I'm the same as you?
No, it's not the same. He says it refers to skin deep wisdom, muscle deep wisdom, bone deep wisdom, and inside the bone, that's the deepest. Okay? And that's amazing because by the time Bodhidharma left, HuiKe attained a very, very high level. And what's amazing is that he didn't have a lot of disciples after that. That's what's surprising to me. At his level, he should have a lot of eminent disciples. Okay? But he didn't. That's what is baffling to me. Now I look at this and say, how come he didn't have a lot more eminent disciples like the sixth patriarch? Why not? I mean, at that level, he's an incredible teacher, let me assure you. I feel he's the most incredible teacher, and yet his disciples weren't there, meaning that maybe the Chinese, weren't available or something. We don't know. But to me, it's amazing that Venerable Bodhidharma transmitted his knowledge to HuiKe, and we're very, very lucky that Venerable HuiKe's level is extremely high, and that's why the knowledge, to me, that's a kind of proof that the great Dharma was transmitted to China back then. It's for real. Okay, and what I don't understand again is that how come at that level he didn't have that many more disciples so that Buddhism in China would prosper a lot quicker? I don't understand that. That's amazing. Number 9.
This is from Jane. Liar, liar, pants on fire. In Chinese, is translated into 骗子，骗子，裤子着火.
I like that translation. The pants on fire. Yeah. Okay. Very good. Korean translation? How did we do in Korean translation? Hey, Korean translator, speak it out so that we can correct you. Say it loud. We're double checking the Korean translator. Very good, yeah. This woman here, it's so hard to get any word out of her. See, still.
Master, do you hear me?
No, I can't hear you.
I don't know how to translate it.
Okay, never mind. Okay, so it's very good. So this is so fantastic that Venerable HuiKe really attained the sudden teaching Dharma from Venerable Bodhidharma. 53, Bodhidharma recited this poem. Originally, I came to this land to rescue the deluded by transmitting the Dharma. One flower will open in 5 petals, with 5 petals, and the fruit will ripen by itself.
吾本来兹土，传法救迷情，一花开5叶，结果自然成。
So Venerable Bodhidharma recited this poem. I'm not sure whether it's Chinese or in Sanskrit or whatever. But he says, I think he got a little bit emotional. He says, originally I came to this land. Looking back, I came to this land. What for? To rescue the deluded by transmitting the Dharma. To rescue all these deluded Chinese people, okay? And I transmitted the Dharma to my successor, and in the future, one flower will open with 5 petals, okay? So 5 beautiful manifestations, 5 beautiful components of the great Chan Dharma, the 5 schools maybe, and the fruit will ripen by itself. Okay, and meaning what? What does it mean, the fruit by ripening itself? Chinese people, Indian people. We don't have any Indian people, do we? No Indian people? We should be more open-minded and welcome more Indians. What does it mean the fruit will ripen by itself? Yes, Diego. 7.
Maybe I think it's the patriarch will get like in a higher level just by itself without the necessity of a master at that time.
Yeah, close enough. Yes, 6.
Eventually, the transmission of Dharma will be successfully given to the Chinese.
Yeah. Okay. Basically, it says, my job is done. You guys, just, I don't know where you're from, but it's so clear to me. I'm done here. I'm out of here. Is that what we Americans do? We say, I'm done. Hallelujah. Free at last, free at last. Thank God I'm free at last. Huh? Because he's like, remember he sat there for 9 years. Is he going to leave or what? HuiKe refused to leave for 9 years. So finally, I'm done. The fruit will ripen by itself. There's no need for me to do anything anymore because it will take care of itself. Okay? I'm done. I'm out of here. But the Indians don't speak like we do. All right? 54. 3 years after Bodhidharma's death, Ambassador Songyun or Northern Wei is said to have seen him walking while holding a shoe at Pamir Heights, somewhere in India, I guess. Okay? So he saw Bodhidharma. It could be real, could be a vision, we don't know. Songyun asked Bodhidharma where he was going, to which Bodhidharma replied, I'm going home. So apparently some kind of ambassador saw him between the borders, the border region, this area here between India and China. So he asked, where are you going? You going to China or India? So he says, I'm going home. Okay. And 55. And why are you holding your shoes? Bodhidharma says, you will know when you reach Shaolin Monastery. Don't mention that you saw me or you will meet with disaster. And after arriving at a palace, Songyun told the emperor he met Bodhidharma on the way. Don't trust Chinese people. Emperor said Bodhidharma is already dead and buried. Had Songyun arrested for lying. Serves him right. Sorry. I told you I have no compassion whatsoever, even for historical personalities. Yes, sir. Number 7.
So I imagine that in the future, when the master is done, he will be seen walking in the Bahamas.
What a prediction. Praise the Lord. And at Shaolin Monastery, monks informed them that Bodhidharma was dead, had been buried in a hill behind the temple. Okay? And the monks then said, Master has gone back home and prostrated 3 times. For 9 years he had remained and nobody knew him. Carrying a shoe in hand, he went home quietly without ceremony. Okay, probably some kind of verse here. Okay. Anyway, it's a Chinese monk, so who cares what they say? Okay. And this is Bodhidharma being depressed and saying, when is he going to leave me alone? And you see how he did not even sit in full lotus? He says, I'm not teaching him nothing. I hope he leaves soon. But he refuses to leave. And the score is interesting to me. Anyway, 59, second patriarch. Okay, HuiKe was born to a family of Taoist scholars in what is now Henan province, China, about 60 miles east of Luoyang, that's the capital, and a bit north of the sacred mountain of Sungshan. A sacred mountain, Sungshan, that's, I don't know, probably Shaolin temple. When he was born, his parents saw WeiTuo, bodhisattva, golden armor, spiritual protector, come to offer protection. Not offer protection, came and stand in guard. I don't know who made its translation here. It's not offer protection. WeiTuo came and stood in guard. Okay? Thereupon, in 60, they named the sun ShenGuang, which means spiritual light. And that's from WeiTuo Bodhisattvas, light. Not only was the patriarch intelligent, but he has an excellent memory as well. And his skills and power of discrimination were so remarkable that he could read 10 lines in the time it took an ordinary person to read one. Okay? You have these strange manifestations, okay, of remarkable individuals. 61. In a gathering of 100 people, all talking at once, he could clearly distinguish each conversation. That's impressive. That's a very high processing power. Is that what you say it's like a tensor chip or maybe M1 or M2X or whatever in today's power? No? Oh, you don't keep up with iPhones and Pixel? Boring. However, had great anger. He disagreed with everyone, was always ready to fight. Asura. Okay? As a young man, HuiKe also studied Confucianism along with Taoism. So this is an erudite. He is well read. Very good. Because when you want to teach, you need to have comparative things. We teach worldly people, you need to know where they're coming from. And back then, the worldly wisdom consists of Confucianism and Taoism. That was the highest level of wisdom in China back then. So he had to prepare himself. Are you listening, boys and girls? You want to teach later, you have to learn about worldly wisdom. Okay? Eventually. Not yet. Give yourself time. I'm not dead yet. The deaths of his parents caused HuiKe to turn to Buddhism. Why? Could not find the answer. Okay? Buddhism has very profound insights into death that the other doctrines do not. All right? So in 519, when he was 32 years old, he became a Buddhist monk in a temple near Luoyang, ancient capital. About 8 years later, he left in search of Bodhidharma. So he became a monk, okay? And he was a well-read, well-educated person. And of course, he read a lot of Buddhist scriptures. Okay? And wasn't long before he was able to lecture on Buddhist scriptures. See, back then, important point, they did not have Chan at all. That is why it was considered back then that Mahayana was not quite in China yet. Okay? In other words, Mahayana needs the backbone of Chan. So that's why Bodhidharma had to come to China in order to transmit specifically this Dharma door called Chan. Okay? So that's why even though you could lecture, it's basically scholarly stuff. All due respect to the scholars, they put a lot of work, blood and sweat into their acquisition of Buddhist knowledge, but the knowledge is hair-pore deep. Not even skin yet. Hasn't penetrated the world of wisdom yet. So far, so good? And so, 32 years. He became a monk, and 8 years later, so this guy is very, very sharp. He decided to follow great Master Bodhidharma. Okay? And he was about 40 years old. Okay? So he started at the age of 40. Wow, there's hope for you after all. Huh? Most of you are like in your 40s, aren't you? And the girl said, yeah, that's me. No, you're not 40. Don't laugh. You must be around close to 60, I would say. Yeah, 60. He obeyed his teacher and went into hiding for 40 years. Oh, wow. So 40 to 49, okay? And then he studied under Bodhidharma for some more years, so that's a 5-6 years, okay? So it's 54, 55. And then went to hiding for 40 years, so he's about 100 years. Oh, wow. That's too much. No. So clearly, Master Bodhidharma didn't teach them much. Okay, because when he was 80, he began to propagate the Buddha Dharma. Okay, meaning that he hid for 40 years. He was around 40 when he became enlightened. Okay, no, when he started. So 40, 49 years. How can he, the math doesn't add up? I don't get it. This doesn't add up. It's a Chinese arithmetic. For us, it doesn't add up. Okay, but anyway, let's not worry about these details. It's not that important. Okay, whether it's 100 years or 200 years, who cares? Okay, and he started at 80 years old. He began to propagate the Buddha Dharma, teaching and transforming living beings. Wow, 80 years old. That's impressive. 80 years, let's see. Probably had to use a cane. Q&A.
Emitofuo Master. In the history saying that the Bodhidharma went to China in the fifth and between the 5th and the 6th century, 502 to about 550 something. But then the Xuanzang Dharma master went to India to get Buddhism or to get Buddhist text to translate in the early 600s, meaning only 50 years after Bodhidharma. So meaning after Bodhidharma passed away, the Chan sect is not really popular yet. It
No.
takes until like 6 patriarchs in order to take.
It's not until the 4th, 5th patriarch. That's when you used to have thousands of people cultivating.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Back then, there weren't a lot of people. Okay. Weren't a lot of people who were willing to kneel for 9 years. Okay. All right. Later, disciples of Bodhiruchi, another famous eminent monk back then, and Vinaya Master Quang Tong tried to kill him. So he feigns insanity to fool them, but he never ceased to save living beings who were ready to receive his teaching. Okay, patriarchs. When you hear these stories, who would want to be a patriarch? It's a lot of work, a lot of grief, and no reward. Okay, 62. That's his parents. Oh, why did I go back? Sorry. 64, thank you. About 534, Northern Wei dynasty, they had ruled northern China, collapsed under the weight of riots and revolts, and northern China was split into two kingdoms. New dynasties seized power and soon met with violent ends. From 557 to 581, much northern China, not California, was ruled by the northern Zhou dynasty. All right, 65. The northern Zhou Emperor Wu was persuaded that Buddhism has become too powerful, and in 574 and 577, he attempted to abolish Buddhism in his kingdom. And the Patriarch HuiKe had to flee south. He found a hiding place in the mountains of southern Anhui province near the Yangtze River. Well, it's a lot of hardship. Now you know why there weren't a lot of followers, because he's running for his life and hiding most of the time. 66, according to the scholars, today on a mountain named, how come there are two S? Sukungshan, there's a stone platform on which it is said HuiKe lectured, and a boulder, it is said, and marked the place where HuiKe passed Bodhidharma's open bowl to his successor, Shengcan. Shengcan. Shengcan? Can or Can? Can. Can. In time, a very elderly HuiKe returned to North China. He told his students he had to repay a karmic debt. A day in 593, a famous monk named him of heresy, accused him of heresy, not name him, okay, accused him of heresy. The emperor ordered the district magistrate to arrest him, and the patriarch was locked up and questioned. Are you human? Are you a freak? Asked the magistrate. I'm a freak, replied HuiKe. The magistrate knew the patriarch said this to avoid causing jealousy, so he ordered him to tell the truth. Speak clearly. What are you? I'm a freak, replied HuiKe. Bodhidharma will not flourish until the time of the fourth patriarch, he announced. Then he was executed. He cut his head off. Instead of blood, white milky white liquid flowed into the chopping block. Must eat a lot of this white cheese thing. The emperor knew that he had executed a sage, because you remember the 24th Indian patriarch, Arya Simha, had also been beheaded and had not bled, but white milky liquid had poured forth because he had been with Tao outflows. When no one has ignorance, one may attain to a state with Tao outflows, they enter the white yang realm, so the blood becomes white. Wow, that's too much. So can you imagine go to Kaiser Hospital and try to give blood? You go ahead, 7.
Master, is your blood red or white?
My blood is red hot because of the anger issues. Hmm. 71. Realizing he was a bodhisattva in the flesh, the emperor felt great shame. A bodhisattva came to our country, he said, and instead of offering him protection, we killed him. Oh, excuse me. And the emperor had all the great officials take refuge to this strange bhikshu. Political thing, a real politician. This is great sage, let's all take refuge with him, even though he's dead. And the name, they gave themselves their own Dharma names. Letter student by Dr. Suzuki. Translation. You have truly comprehended the Dharma as it is. The deepest truth lies, oh my God, I need Chinese. These people are not qualified to translate Chinese texts. Okay, but that's see what else. See if you can find it. Anyway, I can't understand. When it's more than one sentence, I struggle. It is due to one's ignorance that the manager is taken from a piece of brick for a piece of brick. But when one is suddenly awakened to self-enlightenment, it is realized that one is in possession of real jewel. What a boring stuff. I'd rather have some cold noodles than reading this. The ignorant and enlightened are of one essence. They are not really to be separated. Who asked you to be separate? Oh God, Lord. I mean, it's just they contradict themselves. They're one essence. They are not really to be separated. Who asked you? We should know that all things are such as they are. Who cares? Tell me how to get rich. Actually, it doesn't sound right. Tell me how to get a bigger temple. Those who entertain a dualistic view of the world are to be pitied. I write this letter for them. Who is this? WeiTuo. Okay. He came from saying nothing to being very verbose. What happened? Old age. He lost his marbles. I write this letter for them when I know that between this body and the Buddha there is nothing to separate one from the other. What is the use of seeking after nirvana? Something instead of ourselves. It's too verbose, like the old monk here, our old monk. Okay, any questions about Venerable HuiKe? He's an extraordinary individual. I'm so happy that we discovered that he got a lot from Venerable Bodhidharma's teaching. And so that's why Chinese Buddhism was in good hands when Bodhidharma left. Now you understand why Bodhidharma left, because he knew that he's no longer needed. You understand? They don't waste time. They stick around only because they need it. They're not needed, they go home. All right? Questions, comments? We are learning about this to appreciate the depth of Chinese Buddhism. It started with the second Chinese patriarch, HuiKe. Okay, very, very impressive Chinese monk. Okay, what happened? Oh, in simplified again. Oh my God, you guys are just want the end of me. This student is not very bright, is he? That's why he's so verbose. Okay, not interested in this letter at all. Sorry. Next. We have a few more minutes. Any questions? All right. Let's see what kind of patriarch. Venerable San or San? San? Huh?
San.
Okay. Look at him. Love the nose. What do you call the kind of nose? You physiognomist, Chinese physiognomist? Is it a good nose or a bad nose? Never mind. 77. Little known. about him. Transmission lamp, the records there, produced in a Song dynasty by Shi DaoYu, author of a famous Chan poem, Xin Ming, okay, inscription of mind of faith, okay. Not much, okay, but he produced this Chan poem called Xin Ming, okay, and inscription on the mind of faith. He composed that. When he first came to visit the second patriarch, his body is covered with repulsive sores like those of a leper. Ooh, yuck. Where are you from? Asked the second patriarch. What are you doing here? I have come to take refuge at the High Master and study and cultivate the Bodhidharma. Answer, Seng San. You have loathsome disease and your body is filthy. How can you study the Bodhidharma? 79. Seng San said, I am a sick man and you are a high master, he said. But in our true minds, where is the difference? Thereupon, the second patriarch transmitted a Dharma to him, saying, this rope and bowl have been passed on from Bodhidharma. They certify that you have received the Dharma seal. That's all the training? No 9 years? What's going on? They simplified too much. I'm worried now about the third generation. Is that for real, really? That's it? So easy. That's the way I want to become a patriarch too. In order to protect it, you must go into hiding because Bodhiruchi's followers will try to harm you. Be very careful and let no one know that you have received transmission. Seng Chan asked HuiKe, saying, I'm diseased. I implore you to cleanse me of my offenses. What did he do? 81. HuiKe said, bring me your offense, I will cleanse it for you. I cleanse you of it. Oh, yeah. Cleanse you of it? This got to be Chinglish. Seng San thought for a while and said, I cannot get at it. I'm close enough. It's okay. HuiKe replied, then have cleansed all you of it, should live by the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. Okay? Boy, that's a nice way of cleansing all the illnesses. Let's try that sometimes. 83. I can see you as a monk, a member of the Buddhist community. What are the Buddha and the teaching? All of a sudden now they're Chinese. I'm confused. 84. This mind is Buddha. This mind is a teaching. The teaching and Buddha are not separate. This is also true of the Sangha, not the community. Oh, good Lord. Change it to Sangha. Okay. 是信是佛，是信是法。法佛无二，生宝亦然。The Dharma is not teaching. The mind is the Dharma. The Dharma and Buddha are not two. Don't say separate. Two. And the Sangha jewel, so is a Sangha jewel. Okay? Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's not a chanting, so who cares? Okay, it doesn't do much for the people who read it. Okay, it's not meant as instruction for you to become enlightened. So who cares? Okay, why waste time on this? Okay, did you fix it? Okay, there you go. Very fast. Very good. 85. Today, for the first time, I have realized that the essence of offense is not inside, not outside, not in between. So it is also of mind. The Buddha and teaching are not separate either. Who is he teaching against? Sorry, I forgot. How can HuiKe reply? Oh yeah, HuiKe, to Sengsan. So Sengsan said, I cleanse it for you. Okay, fine. And then I see you, monk. Okay, what are the Buddha and the Sangha? Okay, and this mind Buddha, this mind is Dharma. Dharma Buddha are not two. So it's a Sangha jewel. Very good. For the first time, I realized essence and the Sang and the Dharma are Phổ Phạ Ngũ Ye. There's no Buddha, there's no Dharma. What is it? Buddha and the teaching are separate either. Oh, good Lord. The Chinese says, Buddha, Dharma, no. OC, I mean, two. OC, French, excuse me. I heard the ABBA broke up again. I know, it broke my heart. I was looking forward to their new album they have, you know. I'm an ABBA fan. Dancing Queen. Clark, can I enjoy music? Thank you. I said, yeah. Because Clark is giggling at me. Oh God, he looks so ridiculous. Okay, so, and HuiKe saw profound understanding, shaved his head. Sengsan cultivated under the second patriarch, his illness gradually improved. That's what happens when you're sick. You became a monk, and good things happen. Okay, and that's natural. By the way, if it doesn't happen, you don't improve. Change temples. HuiKe gave rope and bowl 2 years later. Wow, only 2 years? What with these people? I think it's fake. It's too easy. No, seriously. It makes us look bad. The Chinese beat us again. He gave Sengsan instruction not to teach publicly because of impending danger, predicted by 27th patriarch, Prashnatara. Third patriarch feigned insanity while he taught living beings. Okay, they all had to pretend to be crazy. Okay, not to draw attention to themselves. 87, during persecution Buddhism by Emperor Wu, Northern Zhou dynasty. The patriarch fled into mountains. While he hid there, tigers, wolves, leopards, fierce animals all disappeared. He ate them all. Wandered mountain for 10 years with no fixed abode. Hinayana practice. Okay, 88. He met DaoXin. That's the fourth patriarch, a novice monk of just 14 in 592. DaoXin. DaoXin. Attended Sengsan. Attended to Sengsan for 9 years, received Dharma transmission when he was still in his early 20s. Oh my God. The Chinese beat us again! After transmitting Dharma to the fourth patriarch, DaoXin. Okay? Master Seng San invited 1,000 bhikshus to a great vegetarian feast, who is no longer crazy or something. After they have eaten, he said, "You think that to sit in full lotus is the best way to die? Watch, I demonstrate my mastery over birth and death," showing off before he died. He left the dining hall, followed by the 1,000 bhikshus. Can you imagine the Chinese or something else? He halted by the trunk of a tree. And after pausing for a moment like before you enter the stage, you take a pause. Hello there. He leapt up and grabbed a big branch, and while swinging from the tree by one hand, he entered nirvana. He croaked. Okay, and enter nirvana is the Chinese or something else. He just died. He didn't enter nirvana. How did they know? Seriously. How would you know he entered nirvana or not? And the Chinese are incorrigible. 90. First chant poem in China was composed by him. The Xin Xin Ming, okay? First chant poem ever in China. Interesting. Song Enlightenment and so on later was composed by the seventh Patriarch YongHua, which we will, explain in our chant class, because otherwise I'm running out of time to discuss these scriptures. Is it okay, Korea? During a chant class, Dharma talk, we can spend a little bit of time talking about the Song Enlightenment, because the Chinese said, "Oh, this is a Chinese, Chinese masterpiece." They would take it to pieces. Okay, we shred it, dissect it. Okay, open it up. Okay, and it's something called ZongChi. There's no English translation. That's why it's no English title. It was composed by Shito, another peer of Master Mazu. And then another poem composed called Bao Jing San Mei Ge, the jewel mirror samadhi song. Okay, and then there's more. Okay, this is the extent of my Chinese. Okay, next 91. Oh, time is up. Thank you, everyone.